Good morning, you beautiful people. So today is Q and A day. I don't know if you can see the wires are up almost everywhere on the greenhouse. And so the very first question is, why did we not get a after the rain video? And we haven't had any rain that runs on the ground yet. All around us, I say all around us, within 60 kilometers of us, people had rain running on the ground. Unfortunately not us, we did not. Second question is regarding the radishes. What happened to the radishes? Did we ever get a harvest? Did they get fed to the pigs? Did any of them make them to the table? We did try a meal of the radishes. It wasn't great. We had quite a harvest and the pigs really enjoyed them. And some of them we left in the ground to rot. They got the same disease that the I think it was the same disease that the cabbages get, like overnight, like all of them got it. Well, not all of them, but certain patches of them. They were planted all over the farm. So I think it's a good thing, because that will increase, you must help me if I'm wrong, but I think that will increase the resistance and the amount of pests that we have next year. Things fighting against the pest, that specific pest next year. So it was a food for the predators. There was a question, peaches, did any of the peaches make it? I see these pumpkins are very thirsty. Those pumpkins are also very thirsty, which means that the peaches are probably thirsty. Yes, every single peach is still alive and kicking and looking very good. They seem to really enjoy the life here on the farm. Loads of new growth. All of this is new growth this year. So Mikon, in his infinite wisdom, I think was right about the kind of trees that we will end up having. The things that will become the most profitable is probably stone fruit. Then Gary Hancock said about the chickens, don't sell all of these, use some of them for breeding. Now, I definitely feel like they should be able to breed, because obviously they are coming from somewhere and it's not like they're meals. The one grown-up female chicken that I have has laid some eggs, and it's a funky egg. It's like an oval shape and there was 2 yolks inside, and apparently the eggs of her has been looking like that forever, as she doesn't lay one every day, lay one every couple of days. But still, it should be able to come out, or there should be some females between them that should be healthy enough to breed. I think in the long run, I'm gonna look for, I'll probably do this batch, one more batch. I'm saying this and it's still a thinking thing. I'm not 100% convinced either way, but probably go for a dual purpose bird. One where I can have 100 chicks, have them lay eggs, hatch some of those, have the other ones scratch and run around, and then harvest them for meat. In a perfect world, you would want to have meat chickens and laying chicks. I would like to harvest 7 chickens a week for the family, and whatever we don't eat goes to the workers or the children's house. But either way, I'm not convinced. I'm not sure yet which way I'm going with this. This is the spot where the sewage will be. Now Wally asks whether we'll use a thermal exchanger below that. If I understand correctly, it's a pipe, thermal pipes underneath the sewage system. It takes the cold from the earth when it's hot, and that blows it into whatever you need, and then it takes the heat from the earth, blows out whatever you need, and that helps because it's dug in quite a bit deeper. Problem is, the sewage is going to be over here, and the toilet blocks are going to be half over there and half over there. It's quite a bit distance, about, I would say about 30 meters away. So I would love to try the thermal idea. Not sure exactly how we're going to use it. Are we going to put pipes all the way from there to the toilet block? We're going to put a greenhouse next to it, close to it. Where is it that you're going to use the thermal exchanger the most effectively? But it's a cool idea. I would really like to do it. I would just like some ideas on how to incorporate it into the grander design. When I asked whether we do have a price for the toilet block yet, and yes, we do. So the idea is to break the block into 2 parts. Sorry, just quickly want to close this gate before the horses get into Damien's forest. Break the block into 2 parts. Each part has got a toilet, a shower, a roof and a place for people to gather when it rains, etc. in front. Not big, just something. And the price of that is about 45,000 each, excluding the approval of the plans. I haven't thought the plans were going to be so expensive or such a process to get drawn and approved by the municipality, but there's some expenses there that I haven't encountered yet. I guesstimate that would be about $5,000 for the sewage block and about $5,000. This is now Namibian dollars, not US dollars. $5,000 Namibian dollars. So I divide that by 17 and you get US dollars. So regarding the rain, so we haven't had almost any rain yet. Very, very little. This so far would have been considered a drought year in the normal circumstances. We had no water running on the ground yet, or that once we had a little bit of water running on the ground. And you can see how prolific these things are growing, where the water systems are. The grasses from last year, the mulberries, everything is growing to a wonderful extent. There's even, see, there's a moringa coming up here between the lot. That's the wonderful thing about trying stuff. Is sometimes some stuff comes back that you thought were lost forever. This is wonderful that this moringa is coming up here. Yeah, so I hope this is not going to be a drought year, but even if it is, we'll still be off much better than what we have been. In fact, I'm quickly going to put an image up on the screen. I'll do a voiceover when I do that, so I can show you what that looks like. So this is the screen that I wanted to share with you. It is just a blurry satellite image. If you look at it like this, you can see there's our farm in the middle, and then there's a river going back, and then the town over here. Originally, when the people sent this to me, I thought, well, it's just a blurry satellite image. But they said to me I should check how much moisture is on our farm. So I played around a little bit. I found this thing here, moisture indexed, and realized then, if you look at the town, you can see clearly there's a water reservoir there. Place where at the crocodile farm, we'll go there soon, show you what that looks like. And then loads of people that spend a load of water on their gardens. Then there is a big sand pond here in front of my land, and then this is my land over here. On top here, that blue dot there, that's Beshies Dam, and then all that blue there, that is the beaver-analog dams that's pushing up the water table, so much so that it changes the amount of moisture that's being held on our land. So you can clearly see Beshies Dam there. Sorry for the blurriness, but you can clearly see how much more moisture there is on our land than the surrounding land, which I think is just incredible. So I'm gonna turn this image on its side, but if you want to see what it looked like when I recorded it, just turn it upright, just turn your phone to the side. Ninka G asked whether Joshua built his chicken coop yet to get his 2 chickens. No, he did not. I'm spending this year, my resolution is to spend 50% of my time and my efforts in the township to get the area around Minette up and running. And I have a suspicion that Joshua doesn't have the skills or the know-how on how to build a chicken coop. He definitely wants to. They definitely wants to have some chickens. Doesn't have the skill or the means. Sorry, those are the two things to build it. So I think that will be as part of the Permaculture Kids that Subi is sponsoring. I'm going to use some of that money to go and build him a coop. Thank you, Subi, for the constant sponsoring of those things. We are going to move Emmanuel more permanently to the township, and we are going to have a team. First of all, only Emmanuel, depending on how much traction we get on those projects. But I'm going to have Emmanuel work there full time, at least, and then hopefully later on he'll have some staff and some people helping him work on those projects. And the chicken coops will definitely be part of that. Mikon, the American hillbilly, asked me whether the river has come down yet, and so nothing yet, Mikon. It is still dry as a bone. Interesting thing is, when I say we haven't got any rain, the nice thing about a river is that sometimes you can have water come down it without having enough rain on your land. So it can rain a kilometer or 2 or 5 away from me, and we can have this river come down. That is one of the wonderful things about having a lower spot and choosing the right spot for your land. There's a piece of land for sale right over there to the northeast, southwest, I would say to the southeastern side of us, and right next to the game farm. In any case, I was showing that land to somebody earlier today. It's going for 650,000, 5 hectares, and it's so beautiful. And I thought, but there's no river. I said to myself, this is nicer land than mine, because it's all big acacias and it's beautiful. And everything looks like this. The whole farm is big trees like this, and there's no shrubbery, no or very little invasive acacias. It's all looking like this. And I said to myself, but there's no river running through it. There's a catchment area, and you would be able to build water harvesting structures, but I still think I got the better deal here. Maria Costa asked, can you not dig the tanks down a little bit so you can use the full amount of the tank? Yes, I would like some comments on this. When I read your comment, I was immediately convinced that is the plan, until I got a message from Beshi at 2 AM last night saying we should do a rammed earth wall for Manette and use that materials to lift the roof a little bit. So that is our next option. That, to me, that is a wonderful idea. But it's expensive. Well, relatively expensive. I don't know. I don't know what the cost is going to be like. I don't know. I've never done it. But it will give us two things. It would give us the ability to use all of the water. It actually give us a couple of things. Give us a test on whether we can do the rammed earthing here, whether we have the right soil and whether we have the right skills here to do that. I heard somebody in the bush, and there's a moremi, a wild moremi, chasing Brenda back to the camp. Yeah, Brenda was trying to escape. There you go. And it will give us cost and things like that. So it would be a great experiment, but it's still going to take time and money. Where digging down the tanks is quite an easy thing. However, if you want to get the water out of the tanks, then you'll have to use a pump. It can be a cheap pump, but it has to be a pump nonetheless. Somebody asked me, where is your beehives? Can I show you quickly? Hold on. So my beehives are going to be right there. See that open spot there? I've spoken to the local beekeeper probably for a year now. Every time I see him in town, sometimes I call him, and every time he says yes. And so beehives needs to come here. right next to the spot where we're gonna build Mikon's retirement house over here. Mikon doesn't know it yet, but he's gonna come and retire here, right over here. So he's gonna be a beekeeper, and then he's gonna sit here in his retirement home, right over here. Annie Katzman asked whether the rust on the roof sheets makes the water poisonous. I never even thought about that. I had this one subscriber that kept on telling me that I was playing the Darwin Awards with my kids because they were living the life we are living. But yeah, living the life that I'm living, eating the things that I eat and drinking the water that I drink, I never even considered that the rust might be poisoning the water. By the way, I blocked his ass, that subscriber. I had this one subscriber that had me lie awake for days and weeks with his comments and his emails and his things, and I decided never again. I'm not lying awake about this, about anybody being nasty, and so I just block people. Anyway, guys, I asked Grok. Now you can take Grok or anybody else. I think obviously my community doesn't like AI, but I do use it quite a bit. And Grok says no, the galvanized sheeting does not poison the water. Galvanized zinc sheet does not poison the water, and the rust also doesn't have a big enough effect to poison the water for human consumption. However, I still recommended, seriously recommended, that it gets cleared and used, boiled, etc. Okay, so quickly want to show you. Even though we haven't received rain here, water pitching up here in a very long time, running water, we do have below the mulch grass starting to form and come up, and all of this grass that came up the last time is now fallen flat. Some of it washed in, some of it grew in, but we're really building a bio barrier in the river here, and that can be clearly seen in the moisture levels recorded from space, how these things have a huge, giant impact on the future of, or on the water table of the land. Three Rivers 4 just said he couldn't find the satellite map images. I'm gonna leave that below. However, not sure whether I'm just technology disabled, but it took me quite a while to figure out the program. But in any case, he said he scanned the land and eventually found a crocodile farm. And why did I never tell him we had a crocodile farm? Because it's such a lush place, and plus there's crocodile. So the crocodile farm is like my little honeymoon spot. Whenever we have a bit of money and you know, I like my wife that day. I do most days. Don't tell her. It's a try to play hard to get. Any case, we go there. We have a coffee. If we have enough money, I would have a spinach pizza, and she would do a French toast with like syrup and stuff. She likes sweet French toast, which I can't wrap my head around. To me, French toast needs to have sliced tomatoes and cheese on top. To me, that's maybe bacon if you're really feeling luxurious that day. In any case, we go there. That crocodile farm is freaking amazing. I think I've showed it on a video before. I had a business meeting there once and I made a video there. Big monkey thorns. Definitely, I say to my wife this every time, if this is what my farm looks like one day, that will be my dream. I want this feeling, it's a park feeling. I want the whole farm to feel like a park with animals in between. And except for just growing plants, I want to grow vegetables. Except for just growing monkey thorns, I want to grow fruit trees. But I want that, they've got a unique atmosphere. So yeah, sorry that I didn't share the crocodile farm enough, but it is incredible. It is definitely one of the spots to visit in Otjiwarongo. With how little rain we've received, it is actually quite impressive that our area is so green. I heard something in the bushes here. There you go, did you see it? Little pheasant. A grouse, I think it's called. But there's these places below this is a berry bush, wild berry bush. Trying to look at the camera and then pick the fruit. It's not as easy as it looks. So it should be actually completely brown when you eat it, but this one is much good already. So interesting thing, when at some stage closer to a month or so from now, when those things are ready, when you follow baboons, that's all they have in their stomach. They just eat that, like buckets and buckets filled with those things. The whole manure stream is just like those berries. That's all they eat for that time. And I must say, I think I've got a little bit of baboon blood in me. When they are here, I would also go around and eat hands and hands full of those. Very, very nice to have and to eat. As a child, there was a family of this bush on the farm where we go, and we would go out with the horses for hours at a time, and we'd live off those things. Drink water from the animal drinking points and live off those, eat those things. And there was this cactus that we've eaten as well. It was terrible, but I don't know why we did. I think we thought we were these big survivor kind of peoples. Then I have been processing onions and tomatoes into bottles and bottles full, and so we've discarded some that we feel doesn't make the cut over there for the chickens. Maybe they can have some of that in the next couple of days. Hopefully they'll get out in about 10 days time. So I'm thinking, since we're gonna have these ones grow to an old age, I'm gonna start harvesting them as soon as it makes sense. Harvest about 7 a week, and that will give us 90 days of food for the family. And closer to the end, I'll start the next batch. Hey Brendo. Hello young lady. How's life? How's life? Wash up Brendo. Needs a bit of cuddles, this one. Young lady. Needs some scratches. Lily is not in a scratchable position yet. The condition is wonderful, but she needs some training still. So, something that needs to happen soon as well. I think that's going to be the end of my story for today. I will see you soon. And once again, thank you so much for everybody that bought me a coffee over the last while. Supported me, said to me Merry Christmas, the kind messages. This year, I mean, none of this would have been possible without you guys. And yeah, even a like, a share, a hype, all of those things means the world to me. People that buy coffees are obviously the people that's driving these things. And there's so many people, and I'm always scared to forget the names. I'm not going to mention names, but I think you know who you are. That's been such a big support over the last year. I really do appreciate it. That is the end of my story. We are starting in the township again tomorrow. Really looking forward to that. See you tomorrow.